Why are your knees suddenly stiff in the mornings? Why does climbing stairs feel like a marathon, even when your mind feels sharp? You might blame it on aging, but what if the real culprit is something far more innocent, something sitting right now in your fruit bowl? If you're over 60 and trying your best to stay healthy, it's likely you've made a few changes. Maybe you cut back on red meat. Maybe you started walking more. Maybe you even swapped out desserts for fruits. But what if I told you, some fruits can silently weaken your muscles, damage your joints, and throw your energy into chaos, without you realizing it? Now, I know this sounds hard to believe. We've all grown up hearing fruit is good for you. And in many cases, it is. But not all fruits are senior-friendly. Some of them, despite being marketed as heart-healthy, can quietly mess with your blood sugar, accelerate joint inflammation, and rob your legs of strength. Let's talk about the 7 worst offenders hiding in plain sight. And before we dive in, if you care about staying strong, mobile, and independent well into your 70s and 80s, go ahead and hit that like button. And let me know in the comments, have you ever eaten something healthy only to feel worse afterward? Type yes if that's happened to you. Let's start with bananas. Soft, sweet, convenient, what's not to love? But here's the truth, bananas are loaded with fast-digesting sugar, especially when they're overripe. For someone over 60, this can spike blood sugar levels almost instantly. That spike triggers a crash. And when your blood sugar crashes, so does your energy, mood, and muscle coordination. That slight wobble you felt this morning on the stairs? It might not have been aging. It might have been the banana you had with breakfast. Now let's talk grapes. They're often considered a light snack, but these tiny fruits are sneaky. Grapes are pure fructose bombs, a kind of sugar that doesn't provide long-lasting energy. Instead, it gets stored as fat around your belly and liver. Seniors with slower metabolisms are especially vulnerable to this. So if you've noticed your midsection expanding despite eating clean, those afternoon grapes might be working against you. Next, pineapple. Juicy, tropical, and loaded with vitamin C. But also extremely acidic. Seniors already have thinning tooth enamel and more sensitive digestion. The high acidity in pineapple can erode your teeth and irritate your gut lining. You might feel a weird ache in your lower stomach later, or a sudden burn in your chest, and never connect it back to the pineapple chunks you snacked on yesterday. That acid also aggravates inflammation, especially in the joints. Then there's watermelon. Cool, refreshing, hydrating, right? Yes and no. Watermelon is about 90% water, but the rest is mostly sugar. And while that might not seem harmful, for a senior body that no longer processes insulin like it used to, that sugar goes straight to the bloodstream. This rapid sugar hit causes swelling in the legs, unstable energy levels, and sometimes blurry vision. If you've ever stood up too fast after eating and felt dizzy, think back to whether watermelon was involved. Fruit number 5 might surprise you, oranges. Often praised for boosting immunity, oranges also contain high acidity and can disrupt the absorption of certain medications many seniors rely on daily, especially blood pressure and cholesterol meds. On top of that, oranges can increase stomach acid production. Ever feel bloated or gassy after your morning orange juice? You're not imagining it. This healthy habit could be silently weakening your digestive health. How about dried fruits? Raisins, dried apricots, dates. Sounds like a senior snack made in heaven, right? Unfortunately, dried fruits are sugar-concentrated bullets. When water is removed from fruit, all that's left behind is fiber and an overdose of natural sugar. One small handful of dried apricots can have the same sugar as a candy bar. Your body doesn't know the difference. For seniors with slow insulin response, that's a recipe for weight gain, fatigue, and insulin resistance. And finally, apples. Yes, even apples, America's favorite fruit, can cause harm when eaten in excess. The skin, especially in conventionally grown apples, holds pesticide residues that become harder for older kidneys to flush out. Additionally, some varieties are extremely high in sugar. And if you're already battling joint stiffness or unexplained fatigue, that daily apple might not be helping. It might be quietly fueling inflammation. Now, I'm not saying never eat fruit again. But moderation matters, and knowing which fruits to avoid or limit can drastically improve your strength, joint health, and energy. Instead of high-sugar fruits, choose berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and great for brain and body. And always rinse your fruit well, or better yet, buy organic when possible. Still think that banana a day is helping? Still trust that morning orange juice? If even one of these fruits made you say, wait, I eat that every day, then it's time to reconsider your habits. Type fruit check in the comments if you're going to start reading fruit labels and watching your intake. And if you want a follow-up video on what fruits are best for muscle recovery, joint protection, and anti-aging, drop a strawberry emoji in the comments and I'll make it next. Because your golden years should be full of strength, not soreness. Energy, not exhaustion. And a little knowledge can go a long way.